Hey guys, Loot Wizard here with another Soulforge video on Gems of War, and I have to apologize. I did not check my video to make sure that there was audio last time. I uploaded that video and I didn't check. For some reason, when I have my computer off for a few days, sometimes the microphone doesn't come on. So I don't know why that's happening, but sometimes it does. So I apologize for that. So this video is going to be a little bit strange because I'm going to have to try to remember like a lot of what I talked about in that other video. But also I missed last week's Soulforge video because I was on vacation. I wanted to make a video right before I went on vacation, but I just didn't have time. And so I was gone. I went out of state with my girlfriend to do some dinosaur fossil digging. That was just a fantastic, just beautiful time. So, but sorry about not letting you guys know I wasn't going to be here for that Soulforge video last week. So I kind of wanted to make up for it and show you like something that happened last week, which was we got a new legendary troop, which I was really excited about. I don't quite know how to pronounce the name of this. Essentia, I think. This is a new legendary troop that came out last week. And this one is, I was really excited about it when I saw it because it makes all dragon allies start with 50% mana. And up until this point, we've not had that in a chance to do that for dragon troops. And there's some really good dragon troops. So this is really, really awesome. I hope some of you guys, if not all of you, got this legendary troop last week. But this one is pretty good. I've been doing this team here with it, but there's obviously other dragon troops that are really good. And this will be maybe change a little bit of soul farming teams, just because the Dragon Soul is one of those troops that is still used a lot for farming souls in the game, and it has a 16 mana cost, but if you include Essentia here, this new legendary troop, in the team with it, it will start with 50% mana, which cuts that 16 in half to 8, and that really is good. Really good. It's going to help us get that stuff up, our troops powered up quicker. Especially like troops like the World Breakers, a 30 mana cost, one of the most expensive mana cost mythic troops in the game. But I like this troop a lot, and I like it even more now because we can have it start with half mana, which it's going to cut that 30 down to 15. And the great thing about the World Breakers, it explodes 18 gems no matter what level you are, which is pretty much a full board explosion. So every time that you use this troop, it will pretty much generate, at least half of its mana back to itself, in most cases. So I really like using that. The Dragon Soul also is going to explode gems on the board. So between, the Dragon Soul and the World Breaker together, I think is a pretty good combination. And then I'm using the Dragon class weapon with this too, but you don't have to. You could use a different, and you can even use a different class. But the Dragon Guard class is considered a Dragon troop, and therefore the legendary card here will make that troop start with 50% mana, or that class, which is really good because up until now we have not had a way to make this class start with 50% mana, and I really do like this class. That's why I do have it at level 100, and it works great with dragons, but it reduces damage from skulls by 40%, and also it will give dragon allies 1 life and magic on 4 or 5 gem matches. So that's pretty awesome. And then in its talents, it has a few good things in here. Razor Armor is pretty good. Banishment is really good for dispelling barrier and other positive status effects on the enemy. And then it has Fireblade at level 100, which is also really good. Deals triple skull damage to burning enemies. So I like the Dragon Guard class quite a bit, and works really good with a full dragon team. But now it's even better because we can have it start with half mana with this legendary troop. So, and there is, I'll just show you real quick here, some of the other really good dragon troops. Divinia is one of them, and Divinia is one of my favorite support troops in the game, plus support / mana generator. And it's a 15 mana cost, which isn't too expensive, but up until now there really wasn't a really good way to get it to start with half mana. It's considered a divine troop, so you could use Divine Ishbala with it. to make it start with half mana. But, you know, now you can have a dragon troop in the team and make it start with half mana. So that's pretty cool. But we also have this other mythic troop, which is pretty good, Huang Along, which in its trait here, it'll give 3 magic to all dragon allies when matching 4 more gems. That's pretty awesome. You have Ishtara here. You have Elamagrum. You know, there's some pretty good troops there, mythic troops that are dragons. You also have a few good legendary ones. You have Kirstanax, which is pretty good. You know, you have Sylvana Mora down here and Tinsentail. So there's a few good ones in there. You can make up a pretty good dragon team there. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I didn't get a chance with the last week's video because I was on vacation to talk about that. So I just wanted to mention that before we get into this week's Soulforge. So let's get into that. And as far as like weapons here, there's one really good weapon, and that is the Doomed Scythe. This is among the better of the doomed weapons that you can get. I wouldn't say it's the best one of this particular type, but this is a really powerful weapon, and I think it's worth the 900 diamonds. It's only 100 diamonds more than a legendary troop, and this weapon is more powerful than most of the legendaries that you can craft. So it'll deal 30 damage to all enemies, plus 1 per tempering level. So like me, I right now I have it at plus 10 tempering level, and that is going to give me 40 damage to all enemies. Then it converts yellow gems to Doom Skulls, and it gains 3 mana back for each purple enemy. So I like this one in some teams, especially if you have a Light Storm going. You can convert these yellow gems to Doom Skulls. So that's a pretty good one. I'm going to recommend that weapon. Now for troops, as far as summoning stones, I already took a peek at these before I started the video, and the only one that I'm going to recommend that you might want to try to get is Ragnagord in the brown summoning stone section. This troop is a really good mana generator. If you trade it halfway down, it starts battles with 50% mana, which means this 14 turns into 7, and then you can get that powered up pretty quick, and it will explode 24 gems, or you know, whatever your magic is here, to its chosen color. So you can choose whatever color on the board, which pretty much, you know, you can just choose the color that's the most populous on the board and guarantee yourself almost a full board explosion every time you can cast it. So definitely recommend trying to get that if you don't have it and you're, you know, a decent level in the game where you can, you know, level 500 and above, maybe you have enough of these jewels to go ahead and gamble a little bit and try to get it. So, now as far as legendaries, let's move on to those real quick. Hindel Frostcrown, Viper, Sir Quentin Hadley, and Matron Dragatani are the legendaries this week. And out of them, I would say the best is Sir Quentin Hadley for a couple of reasons. It makes all knight allies start with 50% mana, which is awesome. But it converts purple gems to yellow and green gems to skulls, deals damage to 2 random enemies. So it's doing skull damage and spell damage to enemies, and that's awesome. Plus it's converting purple gems to yellow, which yellow is one of the mana colors that it needs to power up, so it's generating mana for itself. So I really do like that legendary troop. It's definitely the best out of the ones available here. Second best is probably Hindel Frostcrown. Viper isn't very good, and Matron Dragatani is not that good either. So yeah, but again, I wouldn't craft any of these legendaries you know, unless you're later in the game, like over level 1000, and you don't have Sir Quentin Hadley yet, you might consider crafting it at that point. Now, as far as mythics are concerned, we have Death, we have Suna, we have Queen of Sin, and the Grey King. Now, if you guys have been following my videos for a while, you probably know that I really like the Grey King. This is one of my favorite mythic troops, and definitely like within my top 10 mythics. It will destroy gems of a chosen color, so it's a mana generator. All enemies of that color take true damage and are mana drained, silenced, and frozen. So this troop works really good to counter things like life and death, you know, because you can target a specific color, which life and death uses brown and purple, and you'll be able to select one of those colors, and you'll be able to do some true damage to it, drain its mana, and silence it. So that works really good to shut it down. So it's my number 1. I think this is the best mythic troop this week to craft. If you don't have it, I would say second to that is probably Suna, and then third is Queen of Sin, and very last place is Death. And that's the order in which I would place them. Queen of Sin does do true damage, and it also summons, but that true damage is going to stay at the 34. Suna, one of the reasons I like Suna better is that it starts out a little bit lower as far as the life, but it's life. It's going to steal life. So stealing life is always better than just raw true damage, because it's going to make that troop survive longer because it's stealing life, and stealing life is a type of true damage. Now, the other thing that's great about Suna is that it will also steal 8 magic from the 2 strongest enemies, which means that every time you cast it, it's going to steal more life the next time you cast it. So I definitely think Suna is better than the Queen of Sin. So I'm going with the Great King, then Suna, Queen of Sin, and very last place is Death. So that's pretty much what I think here of the Soulforge this week. And we do have a new campaign out, but I just don't really follow the campaigns. So I guess there's a new mythic out for it. And I can't really say much about that because I have not been following the campaigns. I haven't been doing them. So I just, it just seems like the campaigns are just way too many tedious tasks. And I have a pretty busy work schedule, so it's very hard for me to keep up with something like that. But yeah, let's go on to let's check out the shop real quick with this new troop here, the Werebat. For 400 glory, you can buy 2 arcane lava trait stones, which is a good deal if you need that arcane trait stone. And let's see what its ability is here. It will steal 25 life from an enemy and inflict death mark on a random enemy for each lycanthropy gem on the board. So I guess they're putting new gems in the board. I already saw, I guess they're like heroic gems. I don't know completely all the information about it, but I read a little bit of the recent update where they included some of these. There's like a heroic gem. There's something that's like more powerful than a Doom Skull, and now there's these lycanthropy gems on the board, and this one says 50% chance to convert a purple gem at the start of your turn. So this might be interesting for whatever they're doing with some of these newer gems. But other than that, it's not too amazing of a troop. And let's go ahead and check out the new event here, the Dark Moon Rising event. So I already did some of the battles, and we already bought stuff in the shop because that was the other video that I did that did not have audio when I was recording. So I had to delete that, and this is the new one. But I already bought the stuff in the shop. We already played around with a few teams, but the badges and the medals that you're going to get for this event are spell damage. So you do want to focus on spell damage. And the troop restrictions are Mystic, and the mana color is purple. So if you're going to use a weapon, it has to be purple. And there's a few good ones in here. You got Black Manacles is a pretty good one. And you have things like what I'm using here, which is Fiend Fire, which I do like that one. But you also have Trickster Shots in here because it uses purple. You have Life and Death, which is pretty awesome. And I'm using the Dragon Soul. And then for Mythic, I'm using Will of Nisha. There isn't really too many Mythics that are Mystic and purple. So if we go to base rarity here, yeah, Shabanu Vespera that you could use. I'm using Will of Nisha, and one thing about this too is that Will of Nisha will give all purple allies 1 to all stats at the start of each turn, so magic will increase by 1 just for having it in your team. Starflower I do like as a legendary troop. It deals damage to all enemies, but it also has a 50% chance to Fairy Fire a random enemy at the start of my turn, and all Fairy Fired enemies will receive 50% extra spell damage. And Dragon Soul really isn't going to do too much damage, but it's really there just for mana generation. So, and class, you can really use whatever you want. I'm trying to level up the Slayer class, so that's why I have that in there. But that is a little irrelevant. Now, you could use something like Titan class for barrier on brown matches, or you could use something like Archmagus for getting your double bonus to purple. Yeah, it has like a trait that'll give you more bonus on purple gem matches, which is pretty cool. So I'm just using this team here to show you like what this one's doing. But yeah, that'll explode that. And now we have this. It pretty much kills everything. And the nice thing about Will of Nisha too is it's actually going to steal 3 magic from all enemies. So every time you cast it, it will do more damage the next time. I got death marked here. And for some reason, whenever I'm death marked, boom, see that? It only had a 10% chance to do lethal damage to my my hero class there. And sure enough, it went ahead and did it. Now, if I place death mark on enemies, it seems like it very rarely does it cause them to take lethal damage like that. So I don't know what's up with the chances on that. It's weird. And yeah, these enemies are doing a lot higher skull damage here, so my hero probably isn't going to last too long, but we got enough other troops here where I'm not too worried about it. I can kill these guys pretty quick. But anyway, yeah, that's, you know, basically we don't really have too many mythics here for purple, and you could use Lariza in here to get yourself a Madness Storm, but there isn't really too many that are blue. The blue and purple combination in here. So that's, yeah. But we got a few good legendary troops and mythics in here. Queen Titania might be good. That one there. Like I said, I like Starflower, that's why I'm using it. But Venu Soulmorn is also something that could be good. Dragon Soul is always something I recommend for something, you know, generate a little bit more mana. And it does a little bit of damage. So, I'll do another battle here, and then I'll probably call it quits on this. I think I might have probably missed out on a little something I talked about in that video that didn't have any audio, but I think I covered most of what I talked about. So other than this one event going on, there really isn't too much this week. We do have a faction event going on today, but I'll take a look at the weapon real quick, actually, and see if it's something worth grabbing. Let's go over there and take a look. So it's the Dark Pits faction. And if we look at the shop, it'll show us the weapon. Deal damage to the last enemy, then curse and drain all mana from them. Yeah, I would say skip this weapon. It isn't really that great. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. The Great King is in the Soulforge, and yeah, definitely recommend crafting him if you don't have it. It is a really good mythic troop. So I appreciate you guys for watching my videos as always, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.